Please give it up for Mr. Bruno Destradi.
Oh, it's a nice place to be, East Vancouver here. A teacher said this was going to be probably one of the toughest crowds that I'd ever have to deal with. Didn't realize he was talking about East Vancouver. Like, talk about tough, East Vancouver is so tough. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it works, see, it works. It's so tough, they don't shoot you, they push the bullets in. Anyways, so this nice little restaurant here, it's nice stuff on the menu here. I noticed that there was a green leafy salad, though. Being in East Van, I thought it was served in a rolling paper. Nice spot for the stage. Although right about now I'm so freaking nervous, I was kind of wishing it was across the street. So anyways, my name is Bruno, and I'm Italian. I've been Italian for over 40 years. I didn't plan on being Italian, but my father was Italian. And it became easier and easier to become Italian as I grew up. A little gnocchi here, a little baked ziti there. Didn't think it was a problem until one morning I woke up with a Abruzzi sausage sticking out of my mouth, dripping with puttanesca sauce. I realized it was a problem. So with being Italian comes the family. No, not the family. Oh, the family. Mothers, fathers, mama, papa. My parents, they couldn't make it here tonight. I think it's because I didn't tell them where it was. Anyways, my father's 75th birthday just passed by, and my sister was really, really concerned about what to get a 75-year-old person for his birthday. So she's at her wit's end. She's going crazy. And finally, she blurts out. She says, "Well, either get him a laptop or a hooker." What was she thinking? He's 75. Wouldn't that be assault with a dead weapon? So Italian parents, they're technologically challenged as they are argumentative. I've got proof. I got a 20-minute voicemail on my phone that says so. Hello, Bruno? He's your dad. Hey, Yolanda, I don't hear him. Bruno, you there? This is crazy, Yolanda. I don't hear nothing. 20 minutes. Language can be a challenge for Italians as well. They like to mix around their vowels, like the E's and the I's. It was like the time when my dad asked me to help him do a Google search for a part for his 6-cylinder car. He says, Bruno, I spell it like you say, S-E-X. I was cleaning porn out of his computer for a week. So, as you can tell, my father has a pretty heavy accent. It's like when I was telling him that I was going to do some stand-up comedy. He goes, what? I said, yeah, stand-up comedy, do parody like that show, Royal Canadian Air Force. He goes, what do you want to make of the farts in front of people? I said, no, Dad, no, not farts. Farce, like stand up in front of a crowd and say funny things. Ah, he says, he gets it. He says, like a Gordon Campbell. So, yeah, it can be a challenge to understand my dad. Italians seem to like to drop syllables, like when they're talking. Like spaghetti becomes spaghetti, and mozzarella becomes mozzarella, and ricotta becomes ricotta. That's okay. Once you start doing that to English words, it becomes a little confusing. It's like the time Dad came into my office. He said he wanted to go for a latte, and he goes, "Hey Bruno, you want to go for coffee?" You'll get that one in a bit. So speaking of Italians, you can't talk about an Italian without talking about the Catholic Church. I remember coming home every Sunday from the Catholic Church, and boy, was my ass sore. Okay, from sitting on the pews, not the priest. We had this priest at our church. He was a real hardliner. He gave this one sermon this one time about vanity. It was so moving and so forceful. I had to sit there and go and confess that I had gone to a tanning salon. I walked up into the confessional. I said, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Was that a groan I heard over there? So, Tracy, you'll like this one. Another day gave a sermon because a few of the people in the congregation were talking about the pros and cons of circumcision. I think there might have been a Jew in that crowd. Anyways, he starts off the sermon with, "Hey, you guys know where the calamari ring come from?" You enjoy that calamari, right? Yeah, that's good. So this priest, he continues on with his sermon, and he starts talking about how God punished women with that time of the month for giving man the apple from the tree of knowledge. First of all, we know that Eve must have been an Italian to push the apple on. "Hey, come on, eat the goddamn apple. What do you don't like about goddamn apple? Eat, you're so skinny, hey." And what does a guy get for biting the apple? PMS. No, I don't like that one. So I hear the Italian mafia is diversifying. They're moving into other parts of the city from the East End. Any of you here? No. Yeah, they're moving into the West End of Vancouver. And apparently they just named the Don the other day. We call him the Fairy Godfather. Don't shoot. So, growing up in an Italian family, you start to learn about relationships and communication, you know. And you know that the relationship starts off with the "I love you," "ti amo," and then it moves to a little bit more later on about "I'm sorry," and then finally in the end it's like "Baffangulo." So I got my flu shot the other day. You know, cold and flu season, everybody should get a flu shot. But so many people are saying they don't want it. It's full of crap and loaded with stuff that's not good for you. Funny, because I was having that conversation in line at McDonald's. So I tell you guys I'm suffering from menopause. Well, actually, my girlfriend has it, but I'm the one who's suffering. So even though she has a little bit of a lower libido, she still likes to cuddle in bed. Fortunately, it's with the pillow. It's not the threesome I was thinking of. So my girlfriend, she's started to try and better herself. She's getting into some of this Reiki and stuff because she got tired of trying to better me. So anyway, she's been buying these books, you know, like Love Yourself and I'm Okay, You're Okay. Anyway, she comes home with one of these books on Reiki. And, you know, Reiki is this kind of healing, massagey, artsy kind of book that has some, well, let's put it this way, naked pictures in it. So, of course, I pick it up and I start thumbing through this book. She looks at me and she goes, "Oh, look at that. He's taking an interest in me. He's loving that book. He's liking Reiki." I go, "Yeah, right. Naked pictures. Naked pictures." Anyways, finally, I come across a picture of this guy in this book. And he's grabbing himself and he's pulling on it and rubbing and tugging. And I say to her, I say, "What the hell is this? What's this guy doing?" And she looks at me, she says, "Oh, that's called self-healing Reiki. Do you know about it?" I said, "Know about it? Hell yeah, I've been doing that for the last 30 years. Anyways, thank you very much for the great crowd. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Bruno Destrati. And keep it going for your next comic, Mr. Steve Mully.